What's that? Like dramatic entrance?
But always, you've got to come in nice, loud and clear, haven't you guys? So welcome to Seacast. We are Seacast Live. As always, I am joined by the man with no arms and legs. It is the ultimate Are they your feet?
No.
Have you cut your hair, John?
No, what's wrong with it? Well, it doesn't take long. But you're catching up, so be careful, right? Yeah. Look, I mean, quick brush and polish, done.
Nice. Anyway, we're live, guys, and it is Tuesday, the 18th of May. It is 1 minute past 7, and we have an interesting evening to talk to you today. We have noticed, which I'm sure you have, and if anyone else sends me a quote saying the world's changed, what are you going to change with it? Well, that is what we're going to talk about. The world has changed, and have you changed? And let's just put some subtext to this. I'm a recruiter. John's a growth specialist. In normal times, let's say pre-COVID, you could speak to somebody about how they wanted to grow, how they wanted to change. They would talk to you. They would either want it or they wouldn't. They would carry on doing what they thought would work. They would either fail or they wouldn't. In recruitment, they would know that they have to go in on work on location. They would know what money they were going to get paid. So we, in recruitment, we got the gift of COVID, and we got the gift of IR35. So we got double whammy. So I think this is a relevant thing for us to talk about, John, on Seedcast, which we do every Tuesday, every week. It is, like I said, 2 minutes past 7 on the 18th of May. We are live. We do enjoy when you come on and you put something on there because we like to chat, right?
Yeah, I mean, this is not a two-man show. It's just you and me talking, but anyone else can contribute. No, I mean, the world hasn't changed. It's still vaguely round and hurtling around the sun at 1 million miles an hour or something. But
slow down, though.
Say what?
Global warming. It's currently, well, it's not actually. It's beautiful outside now.
It's pouring with rain here. No, I mean, yes. Well, global warming. It's kind of interesting. So there was all these stats a while ago, wasn't there, about the fact we're not flying. That's better for the environment. So you kind of wonder, was that temporary, or are we going to see some? I mean, do we need a new runway at Heathrow? That's a big question. No, so, I mean, the phrase, the world has changed, it's one of those easy phrases, isn't it? It's like out there with mindset and pivot and some of the others. Let's not get into that.
You have to get mindset in. We're not even 2 minutes into this, and we're talking about mindset. And I'm not that I agree or I will admit that I've ever said this, but mindset is something to do with this, right?
Can I quote you? Oh, no, I mean, the world, it's not the world that's changed. It's just things within it have changed, and the way we adapt, the way we respond, we're going to just rethink things. And at a macro level, there has been a significant change in some of the flows of world trade. There has been a significant change in demand for certain products more than others.
That wasn't the Suez Canal.
No, well, that didn't help. The lack of computer chips for cars. There are a lot of other things. There are a lot of other changes that just go on, and you don't stick them on with one thing. What we've just got here is a load of changes, and we're all just saying COVID. Well, not really. The canal was nothing to do with COVID. The lack of computer chips for cars has nothing to do with COVID. The lack of aircraft in the air, yes, was. But it's not the fact that people use this, the world has changed. The world hasn't changed. But a lot of what you do has changed, and a lot of how you think about things hopefully has changed, because if you're not changing and learning and adapting, you might as well just, go home and sit and sulk in a corner for the rest of your life. So we use the phrase glibly, but it's kind of time to rethink a few things.
So I'm in Cambridge right now. We have offices in Cambridge, Peterborough, Northampton, and London. I do a couple of days I'm this week, the whole week actually, or half the week I'm in Cambridge, London, the last bit. But I drive up. I leave my house at 4:45 on a Monday morning to drive to either Peterborough or Cambridge. And it is motorway from door to door. It doesn't matter what time of the day. It is 2 hours and 42 minutes any time of the day. Yep. Well, this week I got on the motorway at 5:30, and it was rammed.
Yeah, because
ding-donged.
So you have this thing about you shouldn't work in an office unless you absolutely have to. You shouldn't meet people unless you absolutely have to. But you could meet people outdoors, and define have to. Meetings are more productive face to face. So is going somewhere more productive? Well, the rules have relaxed now, and you're all allowed to hug your friends and neighbours, right?
Have
Well,
you hugged anybody?
everyone's driving somewhere to go and have a hug.
Have you hugged anybody?
Is the wife watching?
Definitely not, mate.
But yeah, no, I mean, all of the rules and that are not, you know, there's a scientific process behind it. There's a mathematical, you know, element to this, which is
you haven't hugged anyone.
Well, no, it's not that. Of course, I've hugged people.
That's more of a cosmetic thing, isn't it?
But the point of all the rules are, you know, the rules themselves don't work. Saying to someone only go to the supermarket when you need food isn't going to stop you catching a virus or passing a virus on. What it's going to do is reduce the chance of you meeting so many people and so many people meeting you, therefore reduces the chance. So, you know, hugging people or not hugging people, you know, just be sensible. And even going forward, right, we've got spikes happening in certain parts of this country. There's spikes happening in other countries.
When you say spike, 12 people got it in some location and all of a sudden the world comes to an end.
Yeah, but this isn't about people catching it and dying. This is about the fact that the health services, I'm not just talking about hospitals and doctors and nurses now, the health services can't cope. Yeah. It's a logistics problem. You know, more people die, you know, I mean, more people die of, I don't know, car crashes and whatever else than we haven't banned cars since I last looked.
You know what? My son, who's 10, who just called me right before this, he's like, Daddy, why can't we meet up with other people because they're going to get COVID, yet you can still buy cigarettes?
Totally right. Totally right. New Zealand is really interesting. New Zealand is starting a discussion with everyone who lives there. I forget what you call it, you know, when the government comes up with ideas and they send them out about actually they reckon by the time they get to 2034 that no one will be smoking in New Zealand. So what they want to do is keep ratcheting the price up. They want to take the filters off because they don't biodegrade and therefore they're a pollutant. They want to lower the tar.
So they kill people quicker.
They want to increase the age at which you can buy them, and you can only buy them in chemists and stuff. So it helps you on an island miles away from anywhere. But, you know, yeah, absolutely. You know, why are we still smoking and not hugging?
So your drug dealers will become people that will provide cigarettes. But okay. So we know about the COVID thing. Everyone knows about it. No one wants to hear about that crap or that situation. So we are looking at the world has changed, and have you? So, John, I pose these questions to you. I'm going to talk about this, but shopping, the world's changed. Have you shopping?
I'll invoke the royal we.
You really don't shop for clothes.
Well, we invoke the royal we. We
in the late 80s, and that was the last time you went shopping.
We as a household have been doing our groceries online for years and years and years, so we haven't changed. You know, I still go to the local greengrocers, still go to the local butchers on particular occasions, and they've been open right throughout, and I still use that. Clothes, I actually enjoy shopping. So clothes shopping, no, I haven't been able to go to my favorite stores of late. But the really interesting thing is my tailor is now actually looking. My tailor.
Our tailor. You excuse me. She's my best. She's my tailor now. Alex, if you're watching this, you're mine, not John's.
So have you been to her shop in Bishopsthorpe?
She keeps sending me dates to go and see there, and unfortunately, I've never been able to get it organised. But as you can probably tell, these guns don't fit into normal shirts. You know, because I'm a 32-inch waist but got the big shoulders. So
but she, get back to the question. She is now looking at doing kind of 2-hour delivery, right? You know, so you spill coffee down your tie when you're in Moorgate. She'll get you a tie in 2 hours. You know, so the smart people are adapting to the change. You know, Amazon can do it the next day. That soon, Amazon the next day is going to be like, really? Oh,
well, Amazon do same day delivery.
Yeah. But you know, we focused on, you know, we focused on getting, you know, for years we've had food delivered, hot food, you know, pizzas and Chinese and Indian, all that kind of stuff. And that's now morphed into groceries. You can get groceries in 2 hours, but all the non-perishable stuff, that's going to come next. So yeah, the world's changed, shopping's changed, but it's an evolution. COVID hasn't done anything other than brought a few people on board with the whole idea.
Yeah. You know what's really interesting about this is cleaners just leaving.
Is that the 2 dead bodies you were talking about earlier?
Yeah. Cut up the people. You know, when I joined here at the One Group and love it here, one of the recruiters said to me, Anthony, can I borrow you for 10 minutes, a few minutes? And we sat in a room and he said, how do I go from where I am, new in recruitment, to where you are, a seasoned 35-year-old professional?
35?
Yeah. And I said, work ethic and work rate, be adaptable and be ready for change.
Yep.
And I saw him like 3 weeks later. I said, how are you getting on? I said, I've been here for a couple of days. You've not been here? He goes, oh, I'm working at home. I was like, okay, so you're not willing to put the work effort in. So, oh, no, I work better by myself at home. I was like,
but some people do, and some roles and jobs. Yeah, but
well,
some people do.
You're a recruiter and you think you're working better at home. Either you need to go in and tell your management that they need to work harder on you, or you need, if you're billing £1 million and you're working at home, I'd like to speak to you.
So some people work better at home. Fact. Some jobs lend themselves to being better at home. It may just be that he's in the wrong career, right? It's not there's anything wrong with him. It's just he needs to go and become, I don't know, a lawyer.
You put a 25 grand a year person at home, they're not doing as good a job as what they would do in the office.
I started working from home in 1994.
Dude, the 60s were a different time. They were a different time, John. Do you know what I mean? It's and let's not get stuck into individuals and so on and so forth. But we talk about anyway. We got off track again, John. You're annoying me. So have you shopping? Shopping
hasn't changed. We're doing more of what we used to do, and some people have got on side. So it's not the world has changed. Have you? It's have you caught up with what the rest of us have been doing?
I am, because I'm a peculiar size, I find it really difficult to buy stuff online. Yeah. So, which is why I'm using Alex, our tailor. I was in London a couple of weeks ago, and I thought, I need a new pair of jeans. I can't buy my jeans from Primark. My arse is too big. I'm carrying too much junk in the trunk. I need a pair of slightly stretchy, £220 jeans. I can't wear £50 jeans. It just don't work with me. So I go to Boss in London. I walk into Boss. As I walk in, a woman says, hey, Anthony. Kid you not. Anthony, how you doing? I said, yes, I'm good. She went, if you spend over 500 quid today, you get 30% off.
Okay. Just so you know, Hugo, oh no, it's Armani. I've got a sale this weekend. Anyway.
Yeah, anyway. So she's like, 30% off, just today only. So I was like, 6 bags later, walking down the street.
But there is certain things will not always be like.
So I'm in that shop. I got to say this. Sorry to interrupt. I'm in that shop, and there's a load of young girls in there, and one guy, really like cool guy, and we're chatting away. And I tried on this t-shirt, which was like a brown sort of like camo print, but big camo, and then yellow the bottom of it, and it was XXL. Some double XLs are right, but some are not. Some Boss usually do pretty well with my size, which is why I wear a lot of their stuff. But I put it on, and it fit where it touched. And I turned around and looked at the 3 people that standing there, and I said, "Be honest, what do I look like?" And one girl didn't even hesitate. She said, "You look like a fat giraffe." I just, dude, honestly.
But some shopping. You will still need to want to do. If you're going to buy something for a special occasion, clothes. Yeah, you can order clothes if they don't fit, send them back. But you don't really know what they look like. But even there, the technology is moving on. We've got augmented reality now, right? And that's gonna be the next big change in clothes shopping. Augmented reality, right? Why not? Great. But that's got nothing to do with COVID.
Yeah. Okay, so look, we spent 15 minutes talking about stuff that's not actually what we've been talking about today. Has the world changed, John, or have you? And we've talked about shopping. Secondly, you live in central London. I live in on the south coast, on the beach. You've been to my house. I'll be at your house this weekend. You know that there's no one in front of me, so I can go walk it. It kind of feels. I know that you can't touch people or do any of that sort of stuff, but it's been a very different experience through this whole thing than it has been for you and me. So the next thing that I would like to talk about briefly, and guys, if somebody is watching this, please comment.
So hello to Poppy and hello to James, by the way.
Oh, okay, cool. We got people that are commenting on other things, have we?
Yeah.
So We have different platforms, guys, and I don't always come through to our Restream platform here. But and there's a question that I want to ask at the end, which is regarding.
So you were talking about going down to the beach and hugging people. Is this just
okay? Yeah. Anyway, so let's get back
to strangers or people you know. Yeah.
Random people walking up and giving them a hug. So I want to look at relationships.
Well, so first of all, if you are going to do that, avoid traffic wardens. I'm not sure why.
Yeah.
So relationship, well, no, fine, but you're still using Grindr, aren't you?
Yeah, of course. I mean, I'll do it right now, but unfortunately, there's nobody close. We're in a retail park, and that's like I said to the lady actually earlier. The woman here. She went, "You're not going home yet?" I said, "There's no point because my Grindr app doesn't start working until after 7 o'clock in the local area." And then she left. She's 100% gone home, thinking, and there's no disrespect to the people that are on Grindr. You know, I'm a happily married man. Natalie, my kids in that. If you're watching this, I'm happily married. I am not. I've never been in any of those apps, but thanks for that, John. Relationships. Relationships change, John. Are people going into relationships?
I don't know about. Well, I mean, so technology's been around for enabling relationships for a long time. It's interesting that the birth rate has gone up. That's obviously, you know, people spending more time at home with nothing to watch on telly. But also the divorce rate has gone up. So it's one of those that what we've seen in terms of relationships is people have found out a lot more about each other and have either, you know, kind of, you know, rediscovered or discovered or you know, become closer as a result of it, or they found out a lot more about each other and realized they don't want to be with each other. So it has had a bit of a watershed at both ends of the scale, you know, both positive and negative. But that's just because our busy lives were, you know, on a train at silly o'clock in the morning, work all day in the office, on a train at silly o'clock in the afternoon, get home, say hello to your partner, you know, eat dinner, watch TV, go to bed. We're now investing more time in the people that are closest to us, you know, rather than investing more time on social media with people we've never met, which is good.
Yeah. Okay. So I just realised you could change the. Okay, so relationships. The world has changed. Yes, relationships have changed. I think it's different. Holidays.
Well, we haven't got any, so that's changed. I mean, people are generally financially better off because they've not had to commute, they've not spent money on a holiday, which is a good thing because we need people to reflate the economy. So, you know, are people going to travel less? People are still going to want to go and sit on a beach, but you know, we've had the staycation year and all that kind of stuff. I think we're just going to go back to the way it was. Prices are certainly racketed up in the UK for accommodation, but I just think it will eventually drift back to the way it was for most people.
Okay, holiday hospitality.
No, I want to ask you a question. So we were talking about has the world changed? What have you seen in kind of career development? Because you know, we've had IR35, we've had COVID, we've had people working from home, we've had people suddenly being made furloughed, we've had people realizing that job security, if you can call it that, doesn't actually apply anymore. I mean, what's happening in the career world? I mean, how are people adapting?
I think, and I've got to be careful what I say here because the conversations that we have about what I think about this is something probably not necessarily for everybody's ears, but I'm well over 100 people a day. I have 200 to 300 touches a day with people, and I would say we have a fairly good bearing of what's going on in our marketplace with client and candidate. The candidate is living in a little bit of a dream world right now because they watch the news, they watch some plonker. You know what's funny enough? I emailed the Radio 1 today because they have that Radio 1 talk show where they talk about how to make changes to your life and stuff like that. And I was listening to this guy who calls himself a guru in the career space, and it was such crap that I had to email them to say, if people listen to that and they think that is the reality of what's going on in careers, they're never going to get jobs, and unemployment is going to go through the roof. Because unemployment, as we know, John, is not because there are not jobs. It's because the skilled workforce is not there, or the people are not there, or the people are not willing to go and do it. So they're watching all this crap online, which says on TV that says PwC said 40% of its workforce are all going to be working from home. PwC's always had people working from home. It's always had people in that environment.
PwC have half their workers working on someone else's premise, right?
Exactly. So it's such crap. When I watch this, it actually makes me a little bit annoyed, and I don't want to get too stuck into this, but it makes me annoyed that people think that that's reality, because I get people messaging me, right, or ring me, and I go, right, this job is inside IR35, which means you're gonna have to pay tax like every other human, and also it's on site. They're like, I can't work on site. I'm like, give me 2 reasons why you can't work on site. One, well, I haven't worked on site for a year. Okay. 2, I'm worried about COVID. I'm like, bullshit. Sorry.
Well, you haven't worked on site for a year. Until you left school, you hadn't worked on site at all. So, you're 17 years ahead of yourself, mate. So what's your problem?
Mate, I'll tell you another thing that annoys me as well is when people are like, oh, that day rate's a little bit low for me. I'll stay unemployed for the next 6 months until I find something that pays me a little bit more money, But we're in a world now where if you couldn't have the opportunity of getting a bloody job, take the job.
Why is it recruiters don't always put the salary on the job advert?
I don't know. I put mine on mine. I don't want people to call me for the job if it's not suitable for them.
But that's the point, right? Everyone's inflating their job title and their job role and all that kind of stuff. You have senior vice president of cutlery and crockery or something. I don't know, but everyone's, but everyone's trying to inflate the role to make it more important, and therefore to make their employee feel more important in front of their customers. Don't get me wrong. If you walk in a meeting and you're VP of sales, it's a different conversation to if you're a sales assistant, right? But you're doing the same job. It could be. But the problem is, because of that, you have all these job titles and no point of reference. So you don't know whether a regional sales director really is a director position, or whether it's actually just a glorious title for someone who's got a patch. So then you get into the situation where you don't know what the job is, and because they've not put a salary against it, or even a range, you're kind of not sure what's going on.
I can't talk for all recruiters out there. All I can talk about is what I'm doing is an education from me. In fact, this is a good time to talk about it. I'm creating an app, and I'm using a company to create an app where I can put all my content in one place.
Yep.
Because let's say this conversation that we're having right now, John, which might, it's 7:00 on a Tuesday night. A lot of people watching EastEnders or whatever it's called, but we get quite a few views on this after the fact. But in a week's time, both of us would have put another 50 posts on in front of this, so no one's scrolling through to find this. Yes, you can find it on our YouTube channel. Yes, you can find all that stuff. But I'm going to have one place, one location where people can go and register with me. They can chat to me. They can watch my videos. They can see the daily base. They can get inspirational quotes. They can check out pictures of my awesomeness, and they can get all the relevant information just in one place. So, I think that
it's called Facebook, no?
Yeah, stalkerbook. But in relevance to careers, and I think if we look at the career space right now, I'm speaking to so many people who are like, I want to work from home. I'm like, and that is just not in my market. Security is an issue. Yep. Sustainability is an issue. If the regulators come to your bank and have said, Mr. Barclays, you have got, your enforcement is such and such. You need to have remediated however many files by this date. You cannot guarantee, I can tell you now, if those people are working home for it, the throughputs that they're going to get, the documentation they're going to get is not going to be the same as if they're working office.
No, I mean, other banks are available, but I mean, to that point, you're right. Some roles, or even not even the role, but there are certain times or certain parts of that role when you need to be in an office, or even for security. I remember years ago, I was Orange Book certified, and I had to lock the office myself and put the bins out and all that kind of stuff. So there are certain times when, you need to be there. But go back 18 months, a year, and people were saying, oh, I've been sent to work from home, or I'm not sure I can do this. A laptop on the dining table, oh, no. And people were complaining about working from home.
Yeah.
Well, now they're going back. So they got used to it, and now you're gonna have to get used to something else. It's life.
Well, Sony's largest data breach came because the head of Sony's son was playing rugby at Twickenham. He was in Twickenham, like VIP lounge, working on his computer, logged into the Wi-Fi, which didn't have security on it. They hacked it into his system from that. Yep, that's how it was the largest data breach ever recorded through Sony. So, you know, you've got Derek who's working in a Starbucks on, you know, Old Broad Street, and he's just got the whole world walking past and watching.
He's got the whole world walking past him and the window, and then he needs to go to the loo, right? So is he really going to fold everything up, put everything away? You know, no. He folds his laptop down, says to somebody sitting next to him, "Can you just keep an eye on that, please? I'll be back in. I'm just going to." You know, so there's a company called Elmore Brokers, and they're actually doing Elmore Brokers. Yeah, they're actually doing.
How do I know that?
Pardon?
You sent me that guy, didn't you?
Yeah, they are doing personal cybersecurity insurance, because at the moment, if you leave your laptop open on the dining table by the front window, and somebody who's doing delivery starts reading, you know, peers through the window and starts reading what's on there, you may give some secrets away. And at the moment, you know, under GDPR and all that kind of stuff, you know, the company is liable, and the company will have insurance, and you might lose your job and get back to it. But
if you're a contractor and you're a limited company contractor, you're liable.
Well, no, but even if you're a full-time employee, it's the company's insurance. But companies are now looking at that going, hang on a minute, you know, we've got 100 people working from home. We're not going to cover them anymore because we cannot control what they do sitting in a coffee shop, you know. So if you want to work from home now, you need to get your own cybersecurity insurance, not, you know, to protect you, not, you know, anti-cyber bullying software stuff, but, you know, you need to get your own insurance, because companies are kind of going, hang on a minute, you know, why should we be on the hook because you're a numpty? So,
and I'll tell you what, these banks have got numpties working for them. Just say big shout out to Connor who's watching this. Connor Shaw had his second day today. He's new to recruitment, well, like 6 months in the market, but new to me, new to my craziness. So he came back day 2, so he's glutton for punishment. We'll see if he loves.
Always a good time when the new starters turn up on day 2.
Yeah. There's a lady called the Kebab Princess as well. We took her pretty hard. Hopefully, I'm amazed. In fact, she didn't turn up till right before today, and we were like, she's not turning up because. But yeah, anyway. So hospitality, John. Well, Shane, have you hospitality?
Well, no. This is right. The UK. This is England. We'll take your pick. We're going to go down the pub and get shit-faced, aren't we? That's what we do. We're known for it. I don't think hospitality is going to change much. Yeah, the prices have gone up, and we can now drink inside. At the moment, you can't take your face mask off, but it's been reviewed in June. Hospitality will go back to normal. Lots of places have closed, which should make those that are left more profitable. It's normal.
Okay, well, hospitality is going to stay the same. Training.
So a lot more. Blimey, it's a shopping list.
It is. Yeah. This is your opinion.
My opinion. Yes. Okay.
Yeah.
Wow. Training. There's a lot of training done online. There'll be more of it done online, but you cannot replace all training with death by PowerPoint and log in and follow the mouse on the screen stuff. So we still need proper face-to-face training courses, all that kind of stuff. What is going to change, I think, is there's going to be some educational training changes. So the really interesting thing is, go back 50 years when you were at school, right? The difference between good schools and bad schools was the quality of the teaching. The difference nowadays between good schools and bad schools is the quality of the teaching, the amount of technology, the hours they do, the extracurricular. The gulf between good schools and bad schools is much bigger. So technology is going to have to come in, and the good schools, children have laptops nowadays, so why don't we use them as part of the school education system rather than think, laptops are what people and children have at home, and it's not what they use in school. And I accept that, half the kids out there don't have a laptop. And I'm not talking about the youngest ones, right? I'm talking about older ones. Okay, well, we need to do something about that because they need laptops because that's the future.
Yeah. Fantastic. Well, John, the world has changed. Have you? We've worked out today that, yes, the world has changed, but you have not. But if you were born before 1920, that's usually what happens. We have done 30 minutes. In fact, we've done 31 minutes, guys. So we are Seacast. We are Antony and John. We do love doing this, guys. We don't get loads of viewers as we going through this, but this is something that's enjoyable for us. We usually get over 1,000, 2,000 a week. We're happy with. We've talked about this, about what we'd like to change and how we'd like to do it. I just enjoy it. It's something I actually look forward to when you turn up.
Thank you for that. It is fun. It is good. But we talked earlier, and we'll talk about this maybe next time, about doing a live Seacast in person.
Yes.
And all of our
Seacast live
Seacast live
out, but live.
Yeah. Live.
But I went to the shops in my slippers, and I was on the dance floor with a pint of milk and the bread, dancing because I was out. And I think that'd be really cool. You know what's funny? Someone said to me earlier on, you guys should do a live streams with your wives. I was going to say something really mean about Nat then, but I didn't mean it that way. But your wife is articulate and she's very capable of this. Nat would not have a clue what I'm talking about.
No, but my wife would probably just, if I asked her, she'd just look at me and go, no.
Yeah. Fantastic. Well, John, as always, it's a pleasure. I am going to crack on calling candidates. So if I call you, Osmo and Ola, how you doing, mate? Reality. It is reality. This is legitimately us. And if you're doing a job, guys, where you're expecting people to trust you and like you and understand you, then what we're doing here is pretty much that. You'll get exactly what's written on the tin, right? But that's John. Is that correct?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, and that matters to all of us. Be real. Don't fake it because you get found out. Yeah,
fake it till you make it is crap. Be yourself, and then eventually you'll actually get something that's sustainable and consistent, guys. So thanks for watching. It's 7:33 on Tuesday, the 18th of May. You have been Seacast live.
Yes, not live.
Yes, Antony and John. We will be doing Seacast live at the end of June in London.
Okay. Yes, boss. Right, let's sort something out then. I'll think of a venue and leave it with me.
Talk about networking, won't we? Can get other people networkers on.
Yes, we were going to invite networking groups to network with other networking groups.
We're going to talk about this week, guys, between us, John and I. We're going to come out with this next week. But ultimately, I think that we should, because we want it to be really interactive. Like, we want a panel. We want to talk about the live stuff that we do, have a little bit of a break, a little bit of networking. So it will be a networking event. We've got loads of networking places that we use, not just through compliance, financial crime for me, but through business and growth and all that sort of stuff as well. So it'll be a great opportunity for us to be able to, clink some glasses together, have an absolute good crack in London, and enjoy it. So maybe we'll be at Club 8 or something like that. The Ned.
Yeah, the Ned, Club 8, RAC, whatever.
Cool. All right, guys. It has been an awesome evening. We love you guys. We'll speak to you all soon.
Bye-bye.
Let's see how long I can leave it before